Hi everyone and welcome back to the channel. So in this video I'd like to show you my no-nonsense method on sharpening a chisel. There's lots of products out there, but I'm going to try and narrow it down to the bare essentials and what I like to use personally, and I'm going to explain it in the best way I can. So hopefully by the end of this video you'll know how to get a nice sharp chisel. So here is my sharpening box. I've got all of my sharpening things in here for various different tools such as chisels, hand planes, scissors, knives and other things. But don't be put off by all of these things. In this video I'm just going to go through the basic stuff that you'll need to sharpen a chisel, and later on you can work your way up to all these extra things if you want to. So don't worry, it is not as difficult as you might think. So just to quickly explain how a chisel works, here is the blade of the chisel. This is the back of the chisel, the flat part of the chisel at the bottom. Here's the top part. It might taper at the sides so that you could get into awkward spots better. But essentially it's like a flat blade of metal with a cutting angle on it. This is usually 25 degrees here, and this is called the primary bevel. Now what you can do is you can sharpen up the primary bevel nice and sharp, and you can flatten the back so that these 2 points meet, where the bevel comes down and where the back joins it. As long as the back is very flat and the primary bevel is nice and sharp, this chisel will work. But what else you can do is you can add a secondary bevel to this, which goes on the end about here, and that is at about a 30-degree angle. So that means that you don't have to sharpen that whole primary bevel. You can just sharpen the tip, increasing the degree to 30. It's quicker and easier to do that, and then every time that bevel dulls you can keep sharpening. But what will eventually happen is you'll work your way up the primary bevel as you keep adding a 30-degree over time, and eventually this will become too short, and then you will need to regrind the primary bevel again like this and then start again. So this chisel is a good example of when the primary bevel, the 25-degree primary bevel, has been sharpened. I sharpened this one myself, and I decided to just sharpen the entire bevel edge and the back, and this chisel is nice and sharp. But as you can see, there's quite a lot of area there to sharpen, so it takes longer to do rather than just adding a secondary bevel on here. So on this chisel you can see the primary bevel hasn't really been sharpened much. You can still see the grind marks there, and I've just gone straight in and added a secondary bevel along here, which is 30 degrees. So that tip is sharper than the primary area, but this is the part we're using, so this is quicker to do. So the most important thing that you'll need to start off with is something to sharpen the chisel with. My preference is a diamond sharpening stone or a diamond plate such as this one. This one has rubber feet on the bottom for grip, and it's double-sided. It has a 600 grit on the one side and 1000 grit on the other side. I find that 600 grit gets it nice and ready for the final sharpening process, and then you can flip it over to the 1000 grit, and in my experience 1000 grit is enough for sharpening a chisel before moving on to honing the blade, and we'll talk about that a bit later on. So the surface of these diamond plates, they're covered in tiny little pieces of, I suppose, synthetic diamond material, which gives it durability and hardness. I like a diamond plate because they stay nice and flat, quite simple to use, and they last a long time. There are alternatives out there, whetstones, oil stones, but I like the accuracy of these. The other stones might dip over time, and you really want to maintain a nice flat surface. These are clean, effective, and I would recommend, if you want to sharpen a chisel, get yourself a diamond plate such as this one. So the next thing you'll need is a honing guide. You can freehand a chisel and not use a honing guide, but I prefer to use one to get a nice clean square bevel on the edge of the chisel. Here is a basic cheap honing guide. You can pick these up online really cheap. Simple, there's a screw here and you can add a screwdriver here to release it, and it grabs the blade, holds it in position, and then there's a roller on the bottom and you can roll this along and it keeps everything nice and square so that you're not rocking. Keeps everything where you want it when you're sharpening. This honing guide that I have is a bit more expensive. It has a nice wide roller on it, so there's even less chance of rocking. Keeps everything nice and square. Just a bit better made one. And it also comes with this jig. So this is a jig for setting the angle of the bevel on the chisel. Again, you don't need one of these. You can copy the angle of the chisel on a flat surface. I'll just show a clip of how you do that. Here is a granite slab, and you can use something like this, something that's very flat, to reference against. So the bevel on the chisel, which is about 25 degrees, we can set it on this flat surface, and once it is nice and flat and there's no light showing underneath, then we can tighten up the honing guide and we know that we're set at the right angle. But this makes everything nice and easy. You can set the honing guide in here and then set the angle that you want. So you can actually make one of these jigs yourself if you want, but if your honing guide comes with a jig like this, even better. So the next thing you'll need is a fluid, so that when you're sharpening, it lubricates the bevel of the chisel, allows it to glide along back and forth on the stone, and it also allows for material that's removed to move away from the immediate area that you're sharpening, to keep everything nice and flat. So you can use lapping fluid. Now, this is good because it doesn't rust your plate, so it's good for that, and it's an oil. But I actually prefer to use water with a few drops of washing up liquid or dish soap. I find that works well for me, and I put it in a spray bottle and I spray it onto the diamond plate. The downside with using this is that you need to really make sure that the plate is nice and dry after you've used it, because there's a chance, because this is water based, that you might rust the plate. So just make sure it's nice and dry afterwards. But this is free, it's just water and a bit of dish soap, and it works well for me. So here's the back of a chisel that I've flattened, and you can see this area here is all nice and flat. It's the same tone, and you can see then there's like a hollow area around the middle here. That's very common on chisels. If there's a hollow, it favours the cutting edge rather than there being a belly. So if there's a hollow part in your chisel here, that's not a problem at all, as long as you can get the cutting edge here flat. As you can see, the surface looks the same all the way along, so that is flat there, and that is the part of the chisel that you're using. So as we come down in years to come, we can work on this area, but for now it doesn't matter. So you want to get the back of the chisel nice and flat right by the tip of the cutting edge. So to start off with, we can load up the plates with the lapping fluid and flatten the backs, starting off at a lower grit and working our way up, making sure that we provide even pressure, keeping the back of the chisel nice and flat to the plate. So I've just flattened the backs on all 4 chisels. On the diamond plates, I've gone through 400, 600 and 1000 grit, so the backs are ready now. Now onto the primary bevel. We've got the chisel set correctly in the honing guide, and again starting off at the lower grit and working our way up, keeping the plate lubricated with the lapping fluid and keeping steady pressure on both sides. So once you have sharpened the chisel up, the final stage is the stropping, honing the edge, making it razor sharp and removing the burr that's created when sharpening. So for this, you can make your own or you can buy one. I made this one myself. It's a scrap of wood. Just make sure that the wood is nice and flat, and I've added a piece of leather to it. This is the suede side of the leather, and I've glued it on with some contact adhesive, spray adhesive. So you can see all the metal that's gathered, that darker area, when I've been using it to hone the edge, and the compound has come off onto the lever, and then it's slightly abrasive and it has allowed for the small amounts of metal to be removed. So these are really easy to make, cheap. I've got a video on how to make one. I'll leave a link to that video in the description box if you're interested. And then to add to the strop, you'll need some general purpose polishing compound. This is a green one, it's general purpose. You can get finer grits. I've got a white one that's finer, but to be honest, I've never used it because with this general purpose green compound, it's like a waxy material, and you apply it to your lever, slightly abrasive, and with this you can get a super sharp chisel. So for the stropping, then just giving a nice firm grip to the chisel, keeping everything nice and flat and even, and pulling back, and now you can see the burr is created, and we can remove that burr by running the back of the chisel along the strop. So we talked about the primary bevel 25 degrees, the secondary bevel at 30 degrees. Just want to quickly talk about micro bevels. So what I like to do is, whether or not you've got the primary bevel or you're using the secondary bevel, I like to then, when I hone the edge, when I come to strop and hone the edge, I like to just lift the tip of the chisel a little bit higher than either the primary bevel or the secondary bevel. So if you added a secondary bevel and you're at 30 degrees, I just like to lift it a little bit higher, and that will add another micro bevel on the tip of the bevel. So if you're here at 30 degrees, you might want to just lift that slightly higher to there, or if you're at 25, just lift it slightly higher, and you'll have a very fine bevel that you can keep stropping over and over again before you have to resharpen. So I've just made that drawing a little bit bigger. So you might be using the 25 degree, which is this one, or you might be using the 30 here, but whichever one you're using, to get that micro bevel, when you're stropping, you just lift the angle of the chisel up a little bit higher than the degree of the bevel, and you'll get a very tiny micro bevel along that cutting edge. So 25 degree, lift it slightly, 30 degree, lift it slightly, and then strop. So here I'm stropping as usual, and then towards the end just lifting up that tip higher for the micro bevel. So once you've got the tip of your chisel nice and sharp, it should be able to cut through paper no problem, and remove arm hair too. Right, so the question is now, does this cut paper? I'm pretty sure it does. Yeah, no problem at all. It took me 15 minutes to get this chisel sharp, probably less than that. Really easy to sharpen, look at that. I'm cutting it nice and slow. I'm not pushing it through the paper with force. It's not snagging whatsoever. And this is nice thin paper. Quick 30 degree bevel on there, a quick strop, 1000 grit on the diamond stone. That is a super sharp chisel. Oh, effortless. I could shave my whole arm with this. No problem at all. That is super sharp. And remember, once your chisel is sharp, it can be quite dangerous, so please remember to put the protector back on, or alternatively you could make a little chisel rack to cover the tips. So here's a chisel rack that I made. I'll leave a link to the video if you're interested in making one for yourself. I'll leave the link in the description box, but it's good because it keeps the tips covered so you can't accidentally cut yourself. Okay then, so that is about it then for this video. So I hope you found that useful, and I hope if you follow these steps you'll be able to get a nice sharp chisel. Makes your woodworking so much easier, gives you confidence. Really nice when you've got a sharp chisel to cut through the wood like butter. You're not worrying about snagging wood or ruining your project. So if you did find this video useful, please remember to like and also consider subscribing for more DIY related videos. And as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.